Many capable math students lose points on their final exams because they rely too heavily on mental math. When you perform complex calculations in your head and only write down a final answer, a tiny arithmetic error leaves the examiner with no way to see your logic. That single slip results in a score of 0. Showing your logic is vital because of how the IGCSE is structured. The core tier focuses on foundational skills and limits results to a maximum of a grade C. The extended tier introduces advanced concepts and is the specific path required to reach the A-star grade. On a 1-mark core question, the requirements are simple. For a shape on this grid, you count the squares and write down the area. If you write 12, you get the mark. These low-stakes questions are strictly binary. A correct final answer earns the point, but a mistake in counting a single square results in 0. At this level, there is no safety net for your process. The extended tier changes this dynamic completely. When questions are worth 4 or 5 marks, you need a strategy that prioritizes the steps of the calculation over the final result. This is a 5-mark question from an extended paper involving a 3D triangular pyramid. To find the total surface area, you must first calculate the exact height of this specific triangular face using the provided edge lengths. Consider a student who correctly applies Pythagoras' theorem, setting up the calculation with 12, 6, and 9 squared. They show every intermediate step, but make a critical arithmetic error in the final addition, leading to the wrong decimal answer. If we look at the official Cambridge mark scheme, we see that the points aren't just for the answer. The grading is driven by these codes, M2, M3, and M4, which are tied to specific stages of the calculation. Cambridge uses 2 distinct types of marks. A marks represent accuracy and are only given for the correct final number. M marks are method marks, which reward the mathematical process used to solve the problem. Because the student wrote out their Pythagorean setup, the examiner awards the method marks regardless of the final calculation. Even with the wrong answer, the student earns 4 out of 5 possible points. In the extended tier, your working out acts as an insurance policy. It ensures a single calculator slip won't result in a total loss of marks. Let's apply this. Look at this 3-mark algebra problem. 5x plus 8 equals 2x plus 23. Pause the video and write down the very first mathematical step you would take. Focus on the specific line of ink you believe will trigger that first method mark from the examiner. To earn the M1 mark, the examiner needs to see the variables being collected. Writing 3x equals 15 or showing the subtraction of 2x from both sides secures that first point immediately. This line proves your mathematical intent. It shows you understand how to isolate terms, which is the core skill being assessed in this part of the question. By generating this single line of working, you guarantee a point. It proves that making partial progress is just as vital to your final score as finding the value of x. Many students try to hide their mistakes by aggressively erasing or scribbling over their work. However, a blank space gives the examiner nothing to grade. If you realize you've made a mistake, simply draw a single line through it and keep it legible. Because of Cambridge's generic marking principles, marks are awarded positively. Examiners look for reasons to give points. They also follow recovery. If you make a notation error early on, but your next step is correct, the examiner infers intent and awards the marks. Mastering these extended-level techniques requires practicing with materials designed for this specific tier, where the method mark matrix determines your success. Remember, the examiner is looking for evidence of your understanding. Give them that evidence in every question. Visit study-buddy.tech to take a diagnostic test and use our 24/7 exam coach to sharpen your process.